told me so.
Right, my lovelies, lords, lads, dude, sugars, oh, sugar moons, ha ha, Mountain Lily. Where you been, Mountain Lilies? All right, Lily moons, all right. What are we doing? Hey, ooh, this one's going to be a little bit of a, bear with me on this one. Bear with me on this one, guys. This is going to be a little bit of mix of things here. We wixing a little bit on this one, all right? Ooh, boy, oh boy. A lot of things swirling in this brain. Man, oh man. First of all, I'm getting good emails. I'm trying to get through them. I'm reading them. I haven't responded to everybody, but I'm working on it. Yes, and I've seen them. I've seen most of them. Yeah, you know who you are, and I just know that I know, okay, what you're sending me, and I'm reading everything. So, thank you. And I haven't been able to respond to everything. Great things coming in here. Great thoughts, ideas, all this. So, I just keep that in mind. I am seeing what you're sending me. I just haven't had a chance to respond, but I will. It may take me a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So that's one. Boy, oh boy. My mind, man, I'll tell you what. My mind has been stuck on a few things lately about this case, of course. Number one, I can't get Hunter Johnson's, what he was saying to Nunez when they first entered the house. I cannot get that out of my brain. That I still can't. That is bugging the hell out of me. That is still bugging the hell out of me. From what I think I hear him say. So I encourage. Hey, I can review it 70 times on a video with you guys, but maybe you guys need to do it. And figure out what if you can corroborate that. So, but that bugs me. I do feel that's part of the original script, if we can call it a script, right? That bugs me a lot. That really bugs me. Okay. That's one thing that's been stuck in my brain. Another thing that's been sticking in my brain over the past 24 hours here, because a lot of things get shuffled and lost, and then they reappear, right? Yeah, like magic. Jack DeCouer is sticking in my brain big time over the past 24 hours. Jack DeCouer again. I'll tell you what. There's certain things that I go back to reading, and then I try to think about what they said in their interviews, and I'm like, ugh. All right, so I want to show you some of that, what I'm talking about here with Jack DeCouer. I do want to revisit his entire interview again because I went through it the first time, but I need to go over it again here. There's a couple things I want to show you from the documents. Yeah. Interesting. We're going to start with, here's what I want to start with here. We're going to start with the documents. The first one, now this is not going to be necessarily related to the video that I'm putting here, that we're doing right now, right? However, getting a lot of things about the audio and the video from that night. And so I just got to find this for you guys first. And then we'll get on. All right. So this... Oh, God, there's so much I want to show you guys. All right. That I got to keep it focused here. All right. I want to return to Brett Payne's affidavit. Now, real quick. This also has been bugging me. So, let me start with this, okay, guys? Here. All right. Here. All right. So, we have suspect vehicle 1. Right. This is bugging me. So we got suspect vehicle 1 entering the area a fourth time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52, and then driving back westbound on King Road. When suspect vehicle number 1 is in front of the King Road residence, right? Now, are we talking about the residence? That was my question. I read this again. I'm like, wait a minute. Are we talking about 1122 King Road? Because the way Brett Payne writes this, it very much seems like that's what he's saying here. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Let me know what you think. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence. Well, as far as we know, guys, I could be misreading this, but that's the way it reads to me. The residence, right? We're not talking about Queen Road 52. We're talking about the King Road residence. Well, guys, where's the fucking camera in front of the King Road residence? Where is it? Right? When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the house, which we should see, where's that? That's the camera we should be seeing, right? It appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. This is not the 3-point turn. We get to that next. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn. That's what we see on the video. We don't see this. Where the fuck's this video? How does Brett Payne know that suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road house? Right? How does he know this? There has to be a video of in front of the house. Correct? Guys, unless I am mistaken and reading this all wrong. I don't think so. I could be. But think about it. Look, Brett Payne is putting this in his affidavit. Look, this is his affidavit, right? Well, how does he know this? What camera are we talking about? What? Guys, he would, right? Then where's the rest of what's in front of the King Road residence? Where is it? I don't know. This has been bothering the shit out of me. Yeah, because we see the 3-point turn. That's not what that's not what I'm talking about. We see that. We don't see this. We don't see the car turning around in front of the house. Do we? No. Absolutely. Everybody would be all over that. Where is it? Yeah, so he completes the 3-point turn, the suspect vehicle 1, and then drives eastbound again down the Queen Road. That's what we see. That's the final pass, right? Right, supposedly. That's the final pass. He parks, right? Right next to Molly, right? Or no, so Molly's bullshit. Yeah, does his thing, gets out of there within 10 minutes, and you're right, you know who emailed me. Then there's a dramatic peel out. Right. Seen departing the area of the King Road residence at approximately 4:20 at a high rate of speed. All right. Right? So guys, I could be mistaken. That could be seen on the same camera. But again, I could be totally wrong. All right. However, the problem is Moscow doesn't know how to write. And so if I'm wrong. That's fine. But please learn how to write, Moscow, because the way I'm reading this is, once again, right? Suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the house. It appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. Right in front of the house. I don't remember seeing that. Do you? All right. That's the first thing that's been that's been in my brain. And now we're going to move on to Mr. Jack DeCouer. But first, I want to go to this document. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. This is supplement number 32, ISP documents, okay? Oh, hey, I read all your shit. And it starts burning my brain like this, Mr. Gideon. All righty. Yeah. Hey. All right, so anyway, I started with Gideon. Okay. Hey, open at page 1. All right, open at page 1, baby. All right. Anyway. All right. So, we are taking photographs. This is November 13th, the day of. We're taking photographs of the scene. Right? Right. We see 5 cars in the driveway. We got a blue Honda. Now, there was some people saying that Maddie and Kaylee were picked up from the grub truck by a blue-colored Honda sedan. Just saying. Yeah, just saying. Not Eric Gower, but a blue-colored Honda Civic sedan. They were picked up from the grub truck in this type of vehicle, which we just so happen to find at the King Roadhouse with Arizona registration. Anyway, whatever. We know whose car that is, but that's interesting because that was what one of the people said in one of their statements to police, that they were picked up from the grub truck in this kind of car. In fact, 2 separate people said that Maddie and Kaylee were picked up from the grub truck in a different car other than Eric Gower. 2. And one of them mentions this specific car. And that just so happens to be one of the residents' cars, right? Well, anyway, yes, it was one of the cars in the parking lot amongst 5 total cars, correct? Right? Including that Chevy Cruze. We got that silver-colored Range Rover. We know who that is. So on and so on. We got a black Ford Explorer. Okay, nothing was seized as evidence from the interiors of any of the cars. Nothing. Anyway, but we go on. So we started taking 3D scans of the bedrooms, right? Kernodle and Maddie. Yeah, because this is supposedly where, right, the bodies were found, correct. Now, these are exhibits. The following evidence was recorded and collected, right? Shoe print casting. This is from the outside near the fence line. Latent print collected from the exterior of the south kitchen window. Another print collected from the exterior of the south kitchen window. Remember, this is where we get the palm prints and the face print. Latent print collected because bryankohberger is peeking in supposedly through the window, right? Okay, to see if anybody was inside the kitchen. Okay, peekaboo. Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, and I was talking to another spirit master about this. Yeah, the first bedroom you encounter when you walk in through the sliding glass door, guess whose bedroom that is? Yeah, that's Miss Dylan Morrison's. Yeah, well, we know this. So, I totally bypassed the first bedroom on the right-hand side, I think it was on my right, yeah. I totally bypassed the first bedroom that I encounter. Okay. I don't even bother to see if there's anybody in that bedroom at all. I don't even bother to check to see if the door was locked. Nope. I totally bypass the first bedroom that I see. Right. I proceed to do what then? Okay, yeah. Knowing, and my secondary spirit master made a good point. You know you're going to have to pass this way again on your way downstairs and out back through the sliding glass door. So unless you're a psychic, right, the first thing you're going to do when you enter that house is you're going to check to see what's in that fucking bedroom. Because if you're doing what you're doing upstairs and just down the hallway, well, you better make goddamn sure there's nobody in that bedroom when you do it. Dylan Mortensen's bedroom. You better make sure there's nobody or nothing in there that could disturb you. But does bryankohberger supposedly do that? No, he doesn't check it. In fact, what do we know? He leaves Dylan Mortensen live. When in fact, in reality, Dylan should have been the first person to go. Yes, indeed. You know it, my Garden, and I know it. If this was real, Dylan should have been the first person to go, because that is the first bedroom that I am encountering. And not only that, but I don't make sure that nobody is in that bedroom that either, number one, would stop me from doing what I'm doing, because I don't know what's in that bedroom. There could be a 7-foot giant living in that bedroom I have no idea about. And they may have a rifle, they may have a pistol that I don't know about, because I never bothered to open her door up. Does that make sense to you guys out there? No. Anyway, the point of this is, Dylan's bedroom is the first bedroom you're going to check. Hands down. If this was a real thing, if I was just there to unalive people, right? That is the first bedroom I'm going to check, because I have no idea what's in it, and whatever's inside that, I may encounter it when I'm done doing what I'm doing. In fact, right, we do encounter Miss Dylan, and we look at her, we smile at her, and we say, hey, I'll be right back and we'll get you a cup of coffee, right? Just hold your horses, Dylan. Right? And we let her live. And we just walk out the sliding glass door again. All right, yeah. Sure. Now, in reality, though, like I said, I'm going to hammer this point. Dylan's bedroom is the first one you're going to check. You are going to make sure nobody's in that bedroom that could impede what you're going to do. Brian clearly, or somebody, they're saying Brian, right? Well, he's clearly going to see it's a bedroom door. You're not going to miss it. Yeah. And again, as far as I know, Mr. Kohberger is not a psychic. And therefore, you are going to check that bedroom first. And if it's open and there's somebody sleeping there, well, guess what you're going to do? Bye-bye. That's what you would do, though, in this type of thing. You are not going to have it. You're not going to, first of all, not know what's in that room that could stop you. Right? You're not. Why would you? Anyway, that's not the point of this. Sorry. Well, that is kind of the point of this. But let me show you this. Right? So this goes on, right? A pink colored laptop from Xana's bedroom. All right? We see Chapin, right? A pink colored iPhone located on the bedroom of floor 2, west bedroom. Okay. That's still Xana. A pink colored laptop located on the desk of floor 3, east bedroom. A black colored iPhone located on nightstand of floor 3, east bedroom. Right? I believe that's Maddie's. A K-bar sheath located on bed of floor 3, east bedroom. Maddie, okay, right, east bedroom. Kaylee, east bedroom. A white colored blanket located on foot of bed on Maddie's bed. We got that tan colored comforter located on bed 3, Maddie's bed, right? It goes on. We get there. Mabbit gets there, 8:15, so on and so on. That's when they start the removal of the bodies. However, a blue-colored iPhone located under Kaylee's head. Odd placement of a iPhone to find it under somebody's head. Jewel vape pen located under Kaylee on the bed. That goddamn vape pen, man. I'll tell you what, that vape pen bothering me. Now let's revisit Jack DeCouer, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Oh yeah, all kinds of latent print. Oh, this is all kinds of stuff here, guys. Yeah, all kinds of stuff here. Oh yeah, we got that steak knife located on the folding table in the living room. But wait a minute. And millions of blood swabs, staircase, blah, blah, on and on. Tons of blood swabs. Of course. Blood found everywhere, supposedly, right? On the banister, right? That was a mixture that we still can't figure out who it is. Even though there are labs dedicated to separating mixtures, okay? Separating DNA found from a mixture. Yeah, there are labs that dedicate themselves to doing that, Moscow. Are you stupid? Well, yeah. But you never bothered to try to do it because you never wanted to find out who the other suspects were. Yeah, you didn't. Anyway, let me show you a little bit more on this document. It comes up above, though. Hang on. As you go up the stairs to the second floor, you enter a small living room area. There was a folding table set up on the west side, partially blocking the entry to the west hallway. The table, for anybody who still who forgot this, the table had multiple red Solo cups, okay, fine, along with a small steak knife. There were multiple areas of red liquid. On the beer pong table that was consistent and appeared to be blood. On the beer pong table with the steak knife. Remember this. Remember. How did it get there? I don't know, Hunter. How did it get there, Dylan? Remember, the murders took place in 2 locations, right? Xana's bedroom and Maddie's bedroom. But yet, there's fucking blood everywhere. There's blood on the ping pong table for no reason. As I walked west from the living room, there was a half wall to my right. Multiple drops of blood there, runs of red liquid along the entire half wall. Yeah, because nothing happened in the kitchen. Nothing happened in the living room, right, Dylan Mortensen? Nothing happened right outside your bedroom door, did it? Apparently it didn't. But yet, all kinds of shit right next to you. Anyway, one more thing about this. One more thing with this one. At noon, right, MPD was dispatched to an unconscious person inside the residence. When they arrived, 2 household occupants identified as Dylan and Bethany Funk, along with 2 other females and 1 male were outside the house. The male, identified as Hunter Johnson, stated when he had entered the house, he grabbed a knife from the kitchen. However, here, Hunter Johnson should have stated when he was called over to the house by Dylan Mortensen told him to grab a knife from the kitchen. Because that's exactly what she did. And supposedly Hunter, being the Rambo guy that he is, he cleared the 1st and 2nd floors. He cleared the first and second floors. For what? Oh, wait a minute. And then he placed that little steak knife, sure, on the pong table inside the living room. No. That's not what happened. Hunter Johnson didn't just play. No. Hunter Johnson picks up the knife from the floor, then puts it on the beer pong table. He just didn't. Unless, as a couple of you mentioned, there are two knives we're talking about here. Oh no. But I do see a knife on the landing in the living room. There is a knife there on the floor. And when Nunez pans back to that area, that is no longer there. That is now on the pong table. The knife. Anyway, just wanted to show you that. Let's get on to Mr. Jack DeCouer. And keep in mind, we're going to keep a few things in mind. That vape pen that was found under Kaylee's body, okay, and her phone, which was found under her head, which was horribly disfigured. And, not to be gross, guys, but if you guys haven't looked at this in a while, yeah, a small steak knife. Okay. Yeah, Xana, she not only had defensive wounds to her hands and arms, her legs, her feet, one of her feet was also cut up. Yeah. Her legs and arms appeared to be covered in blood. Yeah. Legs and arms. Yeah. Because she was stabbed in her legs as well. At least one of them. And her foot. One of her feet. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what. Yeah, Ethan. He was partially covered by a blanket and a comforter as well. Just like Maddie and Kaylee were covered. Interesting. It's interesting to do that to people you don't even know. Right? Right. In fact, we see this a lot in cases where people know the victim, right? You know this, guys. And we cover them out of guilt or shame or whatever. Bryankohberger doesn't know who these people are. Why are you covering them up? I don't know. Why are you covering Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee and saying, fuck you, Xana. I'm going to leave you where I found you. Right? Odd. Anyway, his neck and chest were heavily covered in blood. Multiple walls appeared to have red-colored cast off. Right? Of course. Everywhere. Supposedly, right? We haven't seen all that. We saw a little bit. Chapin appeared to have a deep cut to the outer portion of his right knee and his neck. Yeah. We got Xana's ID was found on her desk, along with a rolled up $2 bill and a substance, powder, consistent with a rolled up $2 bill and consistent with a Okay. Well, we know what that's referring to. Yeah. There was blood by the baseboard. The room had a lot of blood. Also, there was a hair stuck to the wall. No idea whose hair that is. This Moscow, Idaho? I don't know. Probably the killers, I'm guessing. Probably. Or killers, because there's more than one here. Anyway, let's get on to Jack DeCouer. Let's go, babies. All right, loves. Hey, I'm leaving it right there. That's a prelude. We're going to revisit Jack DeCouer's interview, okay? I'm keeping in mind the vape pen. I'm keeping in mind where her cell phone was found. It was found under her head. That is extremely bizarre to me. Maddie's phone was found on her nightstand. It was not found with her. It was found on her nightstand. Remember, they're both supposedly texting and calling him together. Odd, but yet, to me, look, I'm gonna leave it there. All right. Placement of the phone under her head. The vape pen was also found. Now, I don't know. Now I gotta be cautious. I don't know for sure if that's Jack D's vape pen or if this is a different vape pen that solely belongs to Keely. So I gotta keep that in mind here. I gotta keep it in mind. But that vape pen, though, is sticking out to me like a red symbol here, baby. Yeah. It's a flashing beacon for some reason in my brain right now, and that's why I want to go back to Jack DeCouer's interview. We're going to look at it again with another fresh eyeballs here. Fresh eyeballs, okay? Check that's coming up real soon in the next one, baby. Hey, this is the prelude, or else this is going to be an hour. Okay, all right, bye-bye. I love you, babies. Hey, I love you. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. It is Monday. Hey, but tomorrow is not, so that's good. All right. We'll talk real soon, babies. All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye.